for the first time since WrestleMania 39, we got to see each other. It was in Torrance Rancho. Where is it? Where were we today? I don't even.
Actually, I'm not really sure. I just know it
Yeah,
was the
it was
Rolling
an area
Hill
of Torrance, Rolling
Country Club.
Hills. Yeah, right around
Is
there.
that the city? Yeah, but
I mean,
I'm not good with that part of town of
neither
LA
am
area.
I. Yeah, neither am I. But we saw each other at the Chargers charity golf tournament. It was great to see you. Even though traffic took up most of our time from seeing each other, because I know traffic was MF for you, so that was difficult. But we were there to talk to a couple of Charger players. Derwin James spoke to Derwin James, spoke to LaDainian Tomlinson, Hall of Famer, former Charger. Guys, if you guys want to check out all those interviews, go over to What's Up Bolts and check out all the interviews that Gilbert and I did with a lot of these players. Marcellus Wiley explains to us why there's a reason why the Chargers are already a Super Bowl contender, and he said the most important thing the Chargers already have. Go over there and check out what he is talking about. We spoke to Justin Herbert, Gilbert. Justin Herbert he spoke to us and pretty interesting, obviously, because Justin's such a polarizing figure. As soon as he walked into the room, everybody kind of turns and looks. And it was funny because Derwin James kind of told me, he's like, Nando, don't you think Justin kind of got taller? And I'm like, yeah, he does look a little. He's like, no, like he looks really tall. I'm like, yeah, he. And then he kind of stood up to us, and I'm like, okay, yeah. But Justin was like, oh, it's my shoes. I don't know, Gilbert. Could he have had a growth spurt at 24 years old?
I don't know. What is he? 6'6" already or 6'5"? So
Yeah,
I'm sure every time you see Justin Herbert, you probably think he got taller. But bro, it was cool to see those guys in a laid back setting. Derwin and Justin Herbert were having fun with each other. I think Herbert got a little shorter to take the picture with
yeah,
Derwin James there. So
yeah.
that was cool. And then you get to talk to Brandon Staley, and then you start to figure out like, oh, actually, I'm sure for you the beat reporters, I'm an ex now. You remember about all the things you haven't spoken to Brandon Staley about, you want to touch on, so it becomes kind of a serious press conference. I turned over to him, I'm like, hey, it's got a little serious here. Austin Eckler
Yeah.
talk, some Herbert talk. So, but it always goes back to the charity event and the golf. So seeing everybody come out, and then I finally left my dungeon. I work from home a lot now to say hi to people was pretty cool.
And it was funny because they asked Brandon about his golf game, and he's like, "I'm a tennis player," and you just get a kick out of that because obviously we all know that he likes Nadal.
Yeah, right. Yeah, actually, in
Yeah,
Rafael Nadal,
yeah.
he
He's
is
a
a
huge
big
fan
fan.
of his, so obviously that. But so Justin obviously spoke on a couple of things. One, everybody's been asking about his shoulder. So Justin said he will not be golfing at all this whole year. So,
Yeah, that must be
uh,
tough for him.
and you saw his face. He was kind of like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to golf." And I felt bad because I kind of asked him, "Hey, what was it like to hit a hole in one?" And you could see Gilbert, his eyes lit up when I asked him about his hole in one, and he was all excited about it and everything. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to golf this year because of the shoulder." Because guys, like it or not, whatever people say, Justin's a competitor. He's fierce. He wants to be out there. He wants to be training with these guys. Like he said, like somebody asked him, "Oh, what do you think about it? The way Easton's been playing? Oh, he's been playing well, but I'm going to take some of those reps starting pretty soon because I want to be out there." And you're just like, "Damn, okay, there's a competitor in Justin." Like some people may say whatever they want, but there's a fire in that. There's fire in that eyes. Like you can tell Justin's ready to get out there. But yeah, so he said he's going to get back to 7-on-7 this week. He'll be making some throws. Gilbert, when I saw him, I mean, I've been there a couple of times. Mike hasn't been out there, neither is Josh Palmer. When I've seen Quentin Williams and Keenan Allen out there, there's quickness. It's fast. It's just Easton Sick throwing the ball. But I'm like, dude, when Justin Herbert is back and he has those two guys out there, it's going to be a lot of different throws. But I think it's positive news for him to say, "Hey, I'm ready. I'm going to start throwing, and I'm going to be fully ready for training camp." So positive news there from Justin Herbert.
Yeah, it's always tricky with off-season injuries because they always want to say good things. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm ahead of schedule. I feel good, and you never know what to believe. But when you're actually out there throwing and you're actually competing with your teammates, I know it's not intense yet, but to be ramping up this early June before even mandatory minicamp, it's a good sign. I'm sure it'll be more of the same for mandatory minicamp. When you should start worrying is like, say it's week 2 of training camp when things are starting to go up a little bit in intensity, and he's still not throwing 100% like a full slate. Like as you know, Fernando, you watch this guy throw in the summer of the last 3 years. You know what a good workload is for him. If he's not doing that, then you should be concerned. But I think it's a good sign that he's already starting to throw 7-on-7 because right now it's okay. Just kind of ease your way into it, and you figure it out come training camp. But overall, it shouldn't panic. I feel like
that's why JC Jackson struggled last year, Gilbert, is because he started missing that second week, that third week, that time that you really need to be out there. He missed that time. So that's obviously you want to be out there. And we all know right now, from right now, I can tell you guys, Gilbert, we've been there. Justin Herbert will not be playing any preseason games. Keenan Allen will be like, those guys are not playing any preseason games. We already know. And that's why they're doing the joint practice with the Saints. That's why they're doing some other stuff. Why? Because they want to get that feel for it there. They're not going to play any preseason games. So we'll be in the press box just chilling, waiting for the final gun to go off. But another thing that he was asked was DeAndre Hopkins had some nice things to say about him. He said, "I like that kid in San Diego. He's really good." Obviously, he was talking about close enough. I mean, it's only a 1 hour and 50-minute train ride. So he was talking about Justin Herbert. He said he likes the way Justin Herbert, the touch that he has on the ball. He likes the way Justin plays, and we asked Justin about it, and he's like, "Hey, I actually got to." And I know some people are going to be like, "Oh, well, we can't afford him." That wasn't the point of it. It was more to like hear what Justin had to say about. I mean, Justin's now starting to get like everybody wants to go play with Patrick Mahomes. Now people are starting to say we want to play with Justin Herbert. That's huge for a fourth-year quarterback to get that. That's huge. And when you get to that point as a quarterback, you're like, oh wow, like guys want to come and play with me. Big names like this want to go play with me. That's pretty cool. So I thought that was pretty cool. But he said that he met DeAndre on a boating trip, on a fish competition that they had.
I think it was the tournament recently that he competed in, remember?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. By the way, there was a picture of Justin Herbert and Chris Jones. They're not far off when it comes to size, Gilbert. It was incredible. I'll see if I can find the picture later, but man, they're not far off in size. I was like, God almighty, Justin's like, he looks like a beast. But I thought it was pretty good that that Justin spoke about him, and he's like, hey, I got to know him, really cool guy, great athlete, great receiver. So I thought that was a pretty good moment for when Justin told us about that.
Yeah, so that was a good little insight. Like, hey, you met him, but I think that's where it is right now. Like, hey, I feel honored, as he always likes to say, and keep it professional. He wants to play with me, but you mentioned the part of it. It's money, and then the other part of it too is like it's a little crowded at wide receiver. Like maybe you're saving that money for like John Johnson will ever show up, Fernando, because Leonard Floyd is with Buffalo Bills now. So
that was a good move in my opinion.
Yeah, I thought so too. And they needed another pass rusher with Von Miller still trying to recover. But so I think they're trying to save money for that just in case. It kind of feels like you don't need a wide receiver right now. It'd be nice. Like, it'd be a good little duo there. But the other part of the other.
Go ahead. Sorry. I was just saying, can you imagine if you rolled out there Quentin Johnson, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, DeAndre Hopkins, and Austin Eckler? Like,
don't forget Josh Palmer. But yeah.
Oh, yeah. Josh Palmer. Okay.
When you crowd it is.
But I'm saying, like,
Jalen Guyton.
Like, this guy, like, how could you stop that? Like, who's gonna stop that?
Well, here's the other part of it too. Like again, I'm not trying to get people all excited for it. Like,
no, neither am I.
A lot of things need to occur, but as reports have been coming out, especially Albert Bree has been on this one from SI, my colleague there, saying that there isn't a big market for Hopkins. There you go, SI. And then like they can't, like you mentioned last week, people are saying that he's lost a step. And then, like, he probably wants to command out of money. And then when you're kind of waiting, it's not like for the right choice because nobody wants to pay up. That money that Buffalo just gave to Leonard Floyd, you don't have it for D-Hop. So, and then same thing with the Chiefs giving to Donovan Smith, the left tackle now. Hey, it opens the door for the Chargers to kind of say, hey, bro, like, you got nothing else going on. You want to go to a competitive team. All we could give you is this. Maybe we say no, John Johnson. We'll go with D-Hop. You never know. But overall, it's a lot of things need to happen. But right now, the longer he's out there, the more he could be a surprise.
And that's the thing is that that you're gonna have to do some stuff, obviously, to maneuver or whatever. But I mean, I don't know, dude. I just, like I told you, it'd be really interesting to see these guys together. Just because, I mean, like Justin can get anybody the ball, like he can do anything. But by the way, Gilbert, I do have some video of the Chargers if they had to pay DeAndre Hopkins. Here's a video of them paying DeAndre. Here's them counting the money and trying to pay DeAndre Hopkins. Here we go.
You are very quick on the spot.
20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140.
I might make this into a meme and post it on Compas on the Beat Instagram saying Chargers trying to come up with money to pay D-Hop. There you go.
Hey, I mean, it's some good stuff, right?
And by the way, if you want to segue, speaking of money, they got to save money to pay Justin Herbert because the Bills do, and he was asked about it too. And then again, Herbert being Herbert is he won't say too much.
Well, and Herbert is taking the right approach about it. He's like, hey, I'm going to let my representatives. I'm going to let the team handle it. I trust the team. I trust my representatives. Let them handle it. He doesn't want to be involved in it. He just wants to sign on the dotted line and look at his bank account and be like, wow, this is incredible. Justin, if you'd like to invest in Compas on the Beat, we definitely would appreciate it. You're about to be a rich man. We can make you even richer. But definitely some good stuff by him. I mean, he said, and the one thing that they got him with though is, would you be willing to play this year without that name? He's like, well, that's a good question. We'd have to sit down. We'd have to sit down and analyze that. I'm like, ooh. I'm like, Easton Stick season? But no, I think the Chargers will get this done before the season is. I'm just hoping the Chargers and the Bengals aren't playing chicken. Like, when they're like, when you're driving two cars and you're trying to see who's going to be the one that moves. I hope they're not trying to play chicken because that's a bad game to do. Just hurry up and pay. One needs to pay the other so that the other can pay the other. And then obviously Patrick Mahomes is there on the throne waiting for both of them to get paid so that he can get paid. I'm not going to jump off of that. He's going to get paid as soon as both of those guys get paid. So
the report's already coming out about it. And he's already been asked about it too at Cheat.
And who was on it before any of those people were on it? Fernando. So, but I mean,
you put the math together.
Exactly.
I was like, right now.
I'm like, why? Like, this is the last group of quarterbacks that are actually really good is Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow. And there's gonna kind of a gap between the next guys after that. So I'm like, Mahomes is gonna wait for these guys to get paid. Then he's gonna say, okay, I'm down. I want my money. Boom, let's do it. 2 Super Bowl rings, 2 out of 3. Perfect. Let's do it. So
yeah, no, I agree.
Exactly. So I'll tell you, I right now I've said it before training camp. I think he gets it done before training camp. I don't think they'll do it before mini camp. I just think it's too soon. I think it's a before training camp to kind of gain some headlines heading into training camp and all that. So I think before training camp they get that done.
I'm with it, man.
Yeah, same thing.
Yes, sir. Because I guess I feel like when mandatory does make you feel like you have to be out there, but it's gonna be a like I mentioned with the shoulder, you got to kind of just pace yourself. Training camp, when you're going full on, you don't want to get risky. So yeah, you got to get it done. That way you kind of have a peace of mind, and you don't want the drama to kind of linger. Maybe like you mentioned with Keenan, it happened a little later in the training camp, but you see it all the time. Star players need to get paid before they kind of commit, put their bodies on the line, and see what happens. But I think it's gonna happen.
So obviously, if he signs his contract and everything, do you think he what am I trying to say? Like, he signs his contract before training camp. That means he comes in and he's ready to go. I mean, the dude will probably go full, like, he's going to be ready. You don't have to worry about anything else. It was kind of like Joey and Keenan. Remember they got Joey and Keenan done before training camp? There was no worries, no need for talk. Because remember with Derwin, they waited until into training camp. He kind of sat out. Actually, Melvin Ingram, they waited. Remember Melvin Ingram was out for a couple of weeks. So they waited. So all that. So, I mean, I think they need to get Justin done before it. Because if you do, Gilbert, this would be Justin Herbert walking into training camp day one.
I finally started watching season 3, by the way. So 1 episode in.
Oh, there you go. Oh my God. Where I'm already done with it. And you're barely starting it, but no, it's a good one. But yeah, guys, we appreciate you guys so much for checking out this video. Don't forget to check out everything else on Compas on the Beat. Don't forget to jump over to Combat Compas, where Gilbert breaks down his top 10 fighters. Dana White and trying to make UFC versus Boxing 2.0. And then Ryan Garcia versus Oscar De La Hoya. What the hell is going on there? And then Gilbert's tribal chief. The bloodline may be over, but he is still the biggest draw in all of WWE. Don't forget to check out all that stuff. We appreciate you guys so much.